Hi everyone, welcome to Emily's Route, episode 3 of Adventure of a Lifetime, where Hiroki is tasting all the food that Emily made for him, and even though Emily admits that she's not as good as Hiroki because Hiroki is aspiring to be a chef to take over Grandma Machiko once Grandma Machiko steps down, at least Emily put her best at it, and there are flaws here and there, but at least Hiroki enjoys it because it has Emily's fingerprints all over it. But there's this one food that it reminds Hiroki of something, and I wonder what that is. So, we do learn that Hiroki is hoping for Grandma Machiko to hold on to her cafe as long as possible. It's like, well, I will take over your cafe eventually, so just stay put, don't shut it down, don't close it for good, and go elsewhere. Even though Grandma Chico is getting really old and she can't hold up the shop anymore. And it's like, well, it's better if I close down the shop and you go pursue a different dream, a different passion elsewhere. So let's see what this food reminds him of. So I think it's like the fried chicken, if I remember. Hirokun, so what's wrong with this? Oh, so it tastes like my grandma's chicken. So the way the flavors in the meat are blended together, the hint of sugar, yep. This is definitely grandma's recipe. And I kind of wonder what grandma's recipe is. I hope it's not as special as the KFC's 11 spices ingredient, or that 11 spices recipe. It's one of the biggest secrets that KFC has been hiding and what people want to find out. Well, it's a flavor that I'm pretty familiar with. So I'm pretty sure Hiroki has eaten this a lot and he knows what it tastes like, and he knows... I wonder if he can figure out what the ingredients are to this recipe just by tasting it. That'll be really good. So I kind of wonder where Emily got the recipe, because there is no way that the recipe would be so much like Grandma's recipe if Emily didn't get any kind of help or any kind of guidance. Well, you did a great job. Well, Grandma's chicken is always delicious, hot or cold. And it brings back all kinds of memories. Well, I'm pretty sure that will do the trick, because I'm pretty sure Hiroki has had this recipe for a very long time, and when he eats it, it just triggers all those memories for Hiroki. So Grandma hadn't made me a thing to eat since my unwelcome arrival earlier this summer. Well, I'm pretty sure that's the case. It makes sense though. Well, still, she let me use her food in the kitchen, so I can't complain. Well, I guess you could say her food is what helped me decide on what. It's like, oh, so she was the person who inspired you to become a chef, right? And I nodded. Yep. So when I was little, I was a real picky eater. I pretty much just ate burgers every day. Well, I wonder what food did he reject? So that's hard to imagine. So, what do you eat? Just burgers? Did you eat anything else? And I wonder how he got through all that without being disciplined or yelled at by his parents for not trying the other foods. So Grandma had a real hard time with me when I first visited Ogasawara, but she finally won me over with her fried chicken. Oh, okay, so that's why it's a very powerful memory for Hiroki. Well, my mom wasn't that good at cooking, especially with fried foods. And plus, fried foods aren't really healthy, so it's not really good to have fried foods frequently, because all the oil. So she would worry about undercooked meat, but then fry it for too long. It was always too greasy for me to handle. I'm pretty sure there is some kind of indication that the chicken is ready, it's not undercooked. But I think the mom just can't figure it out. So but grandma's was so different. Crunchy on the outside, juicy on the inside. The chicken was perfect. And that's when I realized there's a lot of tasty food out there. From that day on, I ate anything grandma cooked for me. So I wonder what other food that you enjoy from grandma. I'm pretty sure she didn't make just fried food for Hiroki. Well, it's just amazing how giving someone a delicious meal could open their eyes to a whole new world. But I'm pretty sure if Hiroki wants to be a true chef, he should try everything and not just the foods that he like. So maybe he should revisit all those foods that he hated and tossed aside. A whole new world? Wasn't that how you felt when you tried fish before? So it's like, yeah, that's true. It was a very interesting experience when I ate fish for the first time. So I love watching people enjoy the food I make. It's the best feeling in the world. That's true. So what else is Emily thinking of? So Emily nodded thoughtfully as she nibbled on some chicken. Okay, so if we remember, this was Emily's food. So like, well, the fact that I got praise for this, my first try, or some sort, that's a big heartwarming message for me. Well, it is different from what you're used to. So what does your mom make at home then? So I wonder what or why. Oh, so what do you do for dinner then? Ooh, even special. So they hire a full-time cook to help Emily. Haha, yeah, she's a rich girl. Obviously. So I wonder what the mom does that's so busy that she doesn't have time to cook for Emily. It's like, well, when she makes steak, she does try to give you that hickory smoke flavor, so, or that straw smoke flavor. That sounds good. So she really knows her stuff. Okay. I'm jealous. I really want to see what life is like in Emily's world. She's got to experience all sorts of great things, even go to the farms in America, see all the cattle up close, the countryside. So it sounds like you and your mom are really close. Well, it's obvious when you start talking about her. It's like you have all these details about your mom. So all of Emily's emotions showed plainly on her face. Yeah, we're close. Well, I bet she's really pretty. Do you take after her? Okay, so Emma's like, oh, well, I do look a lot like my mom. I did inherit a lot of my mom's appearance, and I don't look anywhere close to my dad. Well, sounds like they're like teasing your dad. Yeah. So we had a quiet lunch, laughing and joking with one another. Man, that was good. Compliments to the chef, Emily. So after we finished lunch, we decided to relax on the sand for a little while longer before heading back to the waters. So next to me, Emily started putting on sunscreen. So she made sure to apply every day ever since Chisa's warning about the dangers of serious sunburn this time of the year. So maybe this is when the Gasawara Islands are right in the path of the sunlight. And I think these islands are close to the equator. Well, I'm not sure. Uh-oh. It's like, well, I need help. I need someone to help me get my back because I can't reach. Someone looked at me, her eyes seemingly bright with an idea. So maybe I would have Hiroki do it in place of Chisa. So, Hiro? No thanks. Wait, I haven't asked anything yet. Fine, go ahead. So what do you want? There you go. So can you help me with my sunscreen? I don't know. So it's basically a way for you to say no, right? I know. Then you have to, So Hiroki feels uncomfortable to help Emily with the sunscreen. Well, I think the bigger problem is Emily herself. I hope she doesn't freak out or start to scream, because it's always the girl that makes it really difficult for the guy to put on sunscreen. Well, how can I not overthink it? Well, what did she think I was? A monk? Fine. I suppose it's the least I could do after that delicious lunch. So I have to help you somehow. Well, see, you answered it, so. She replied with a haughty laugh as she lay down on the sand. Okay, this feels wrong. So the sight of Emily in her swimsuit was nothing new, but getting up close and personal like this was a different story. Man, her skin was slick with sweat and glistening in the sunshine. Okay, so Emma's like, well, just hurry up and get this over with. So Emily untied the straps of her bikini. Ooh, wow! Someone didn't seem to mind as long as the front wasn't seen, but that wasn't the case for me. It's like, well, still, the way that Emily's like this kind of feels awkward. From my point of view, I had an enticing view of Emily's breasts pushed out to the side. Oh, come on, what's the holdup? You haven't even started. Sorry. I'll get right to it. So I squeeze some lotion into my hands and then put my hands to her back. So the creamy liquid spread across her back, slowly seeping into her skin. I kept my eyes and mind trained on the lotion as I applied, as looking anywhere else could have adverse effects. So I wonder how Hiroki's putting on the lotion. Hope he's not. So based on Emily's voice, it seemed like she was enjoying this. Okay, how about there? Yeah, but this is not supposed to be a massage, you know. Okay, it's like, well, don't be a party pooper, just go along with the program. So here, over here, here. So given her upbringing, it was no surprise that Emily gave off somewhat a regal kind of aura. Well, without even noticing it, I had started following her orders like a servant would for a queen. And it felt like the most natural thing in the world, and that was probably the weirdest part about the whole scenario. As my hands moved over her back, I took a monumental amount of self-restraint to keep them from staying off course. But no matter what I did, my eyes continued drifting towards her chest. Oh, it looks so soft. You say something? Nothing? So I averted my eyes and went back to rubbing. Well, don't overthink it, she says. Like anyone could even focus in a situation like this. Well, if I had that kind of self-control, I would have already reached enlightenment by now. So I try to occupy my thoughts with ideas for new recipes and nothing else. And I'm pretty sure Emily can sense that something isn't going right. It's like, wait a minute, you're not concentrating on me, you're trying to think about something else. So I have a feeling that you're not applying sunscreen on me properly, correctly. You're probably leaving some burn spots open. Okay, so how about my legs? So can you put it on yourself? You can reach there, right? I'm pretty sure Emily's like, well, since you're doing it, why don't you help me as well? Don't be a cheapskate. So if you help me, I'll help you as well. So I'll put on your legs afterwards. So I think for Hiroki, it's like, well, if she puts sunscreen on my legs, that'll feel uncomfortable. That'll feel kind of weird as well. Man, we are such simple creatures. So the recipes in my head blew away like dust in the wind, replaced instead with a surging desire. And I ended up covering Emily's legs, arms, and neck in the sunscreen. Okay, all done. Anywhere else? Emily? So what's wrong? Okay, so Emily fell asleep for a moment. Well, if I had known that, I would have tried putting it on some other places as well. Well, no need to bring that up, Hiroki. So what do you mean? Nothing, milady. Okay, so it's now your turn. So you get down the stand, and I get to put sunscreen on you. So this time, Emily will be putting sunscreen on my back. Alright, lie down, lie down. So maybe if Hiroki's the one getting sunscreen, it's probably going to be worse. Because I don't know what she's going to do to me. It's going to trigger all my instincts and all the bad things are going to happen. Yeah, I got it. Wow, you're really into this. So it does kind of feel strange though, but it's okay. So Emily licked her lips and gave an alluring smile. So she began rubbing in the lotion, starting with my shoulders and working downwards. Uh-oh. Oh, you look nice. You had a really nice body. I wonder what you did. Did you play sports? Yeah. I'm on my school's basketball team, so I do play. And the muscles, nice. It sounded like she was having fun with this. But those hands were dangerous. I was certain that Emily didn't see it that way, but even so, her massage felt really good. Okay, that's good. No, this is bad. Well, really bad. I had a potential disaster on my hands. Yeah. Well, you have no idea. So, anything wrong? I'm fine. Don't worry. Well, she really was too sweet and innocent for this cruel world. So the thought calmed me enough so that I could relax a little and surrender myself to her touch. Uh-oh. Okay, front. Huh? Wait. I wonder how Hiroki's gonna fight back this. Like, well, I only covered your back, but now you want me to cover both my front and my back. Oh, I can't. So why not? I just can't. And I'm pretty sure that's going to generate more questions for Emily. Come on! Quit messing around. Just turn over. I'm sorry, I can't. It's impossible. I wonder if Emily's just going to push Hiroki over if Hiroki still doesn't budge. So Emily tried to force me onto my back. Okay, there you go. No, stop. So you have to tell me why. You can't just say, I can't. So, I've been skipping practice lately, so my stomach is really flabby. Well, that sounds like an excuse, or some kind of made-up reason. And Emily was able to catch it. So she only became more and more insistent. Alright, turn over. So, digging her hands into the sand underneath me, Emily was going to try to flip me over like a pancake. There you go. Well, it was no good. I couldn't keep this up. So I sprained my feet and made a mad dash for the water, without having enough sunscreen. Well, I'm just gonna go for a dip. We'll be back soon. Bye bye. I'm pretty sure Emily's like that's weird. He didn't get enough sunscreen and he just went into the waters. That's bad. So Emily simply watched as my figure disappeared into the surf. I don't really get guys. I think it's just Hiroki. So the sun slowly sank below the western horizon. Emily and I walked hand to hand across the beach. The sand dyed in a brilliant orange in the evening light. So after spending the whole day together, we finally run out of things to say. Well, that wasn't necessarily why we were both so quiet though. It was a comfortable silence. Well, we didn't need a conversation topic to feel comfortable about one another. So Emily passed by the edge of the water, and as she watched the advancing waves wash back and forth over the bare feet, her expression grew melancholy. So what's wrong, Emily? Nothing. So she kicked at the waves that came in. But I'm glad we had a great time today. Me too. Well, I don't know, but it's very Emily thing to say. So she looked at me with a disappointed expression. Uh-oh. So summer vacation's almost over, and that's when we part ways. You going back to your place, I going back to my place, and she says staying here. Well, you've been silent a lot lately. Is that what's been on your mind? Yes. So she nodded silently. Well, it's not like this is really the end, though. Well, if you find that ring, I'm sure we can get your parents back together. Then you can stay in Japan. So I wonder what's going on with Emily. Like, what's the issue? I forgot. I think it's because, so Emily's mom is away in America. The dad is here in Japan. I think it's like, well, Emily wants to go with her mom, and she may have to go overseas, and they'll never see each other again. Yeah, that's right. So we would both have to go back home at the end of summer. But even if we were apart, at least we'd be in the same country. So what did the grandma say? So love is the greatest adventure of all. But I want to tell you that I love you, Hiro. Or Hiro-kun. She cast her eyes down as if she was afraid of what might come next. So she's afraid that Hiroki might reject Emily. It's like, well, maybe I have someone else in mind. Or maybe he has someone else in mind. So I gently stroked her hair and responded. I love you too, Emily. Emily? So what's wrong now? Emily suddenly backed away from me. Wait, Emily?
違うの。そうじゃないの。
Okay, I think she feels embarrassed. She's not comfortable at admitting that.
そうじゃなくて、恥ずかしくて気持ちが通じ合ってたんだなって思うと、今までのこととか今日一日のこととかいっぱいヒロ君に甘えて、恥ずかしいこともいっぱいいっぱいしちゃってたなって。
Okay, so Emily feels that she's been burdening Hiroki way too much. Well, I've caused so much trouble. I had you help me with all sorts of stuff here and there, and even got you into incidents here and there. And it's like I feel like you probably hate me for all that. So while I was trying to think of something to say, she shuffled back to me, still avoiding eye contact, and took my hand. I gave her hand a reassuring squeeze and then moved to stand in front of her. So I brushed some of her hair aside and then looked down into her eyes. And he gives Emily a little kiss. I moved in close and pressed her lips to mine. It was my first kiss, but it felt so natural and I was doing it before I had any chance to worry about anything else. Emily made no attempt to push me away. Her lips were so soft and warm, and who would have thought that such a simple thing would fill me with so much happiness. The setting sun illuminated the world around us. Emily. Some more? I had started to move away, but Emily closed the distance between us again. And apart from the basic idea, I don't think either of us really know what we were doing. It was a clumsy, immature kind of kiss. So what does Emily have to say about this? So when we finally parted, Emily's blue eyes were damp with tears. Well, that was some kiss, huh? Well, you okay, Emily? Okay. It was my first. Well, same here. Really? Well, it's true though. Guess I wasn't inspired to do, or I was inspired to do my best for you. So Emily blushed as she bashfully looked away. And although she was too shy to look at me, she squeezed my hand reassuringly. So we should probably go home now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, me too. Okay. Wait, Emily? So she rushed off toward the vending area. Well, I don't think she's mad at me. Well, at least Hiroki can sense what's wrong with Emily. So I stood there thinking about how her lips felt against mine. Well, I don't really get girls. That's true. Well, I think it was fair to say that our date was a success. Okay, so looks like it's the next day, and Emily and Hiroki are back to scuba diving practice. So I wonder how it went for the rest of the night. But anyways, so I wonder how the progress is going with Emily and scuba diving. So Emily, her heavy equipment on her back, waddled out of the shallows and onto the beach and set her cylinder down with a sigh. And I followed suit. So how did it go? Says Chisa. So I think I got some good shots of the interior. So I think it's more than practice, more like they're trying to obtain more information about this second ship. So I held up my camera triumphantly. So what about you, Emily? Well, she'll be fine. Her natural buoyancy is even better than mine. So I'm pretty sure that message can be interpreted incorrectly. So Emily quickly came to cover it up. It's like, well, this is nothing compared to ballet. But still, you have to be careful not to be swept away by currents. I know. So Emily pulled off the top of her wetsuit. And when I first met her, I couldn't have imagined I'd be seeing her in diving gear. But now I thought it suited her quite well. So we should get this film developed as soon as we can. So how about we call it a day? And I wonder if Hiroki can find someone that will develop film, because I know a lot of 1 hour photo development shops, they've closed down because it's unpopular, and pretty much everyone has gone to digital cameras, or at least using the camera on their smartphone to take photos. Okay, that's good. So we all started packing for the return trip. So I think Emily's calling someone and trying to get more information about where this ring is. Okay, so I think Emily's calling the mother about where she remembers the ring was put. So I think the mother's like, well, forget about it. There's no hope. It's gone. It's lost to memories. It's time to move on. Just forget about the ring. Even though Emily's trying to prove otherwise. So, do you still love him too? I think it's like, well... Okay, I wonder what the mom said about this. So Emily had borrowed Chisa's smartphone to talk to her mother. And her own phone was out of commission since she tossed it into the ocean on the ferry coming over here. And incidentally, Emily had recently expressed regret for doing that. It's like, oops, maybe I should have thought twice before I tossed my annoying cell phone into the water. But it wasn't because life was less convenient without her phone. She would say, well, I can't believe I was so quick to pollute the beautiful ocean. Well, she was really hard on her past self. Chisa and I didn't want to intrude, so we sat at the table and focused on the photos we had just developed. Okay, so there is someone that is able to get really good pictures of what Hiroki just took. Okay, so I think the mom's like, just leave it at that. Okay, see you later. Emily hung up, feeling dejected. Okay, so she's like, well, so did she give you any more details?
船室に備え付けられていた机の左の引き出しに入ってるはずだって。
Okay, so even though the mom is upset, at least she gave Emily some details about where this ring is. So it's like, it should be in a desk in the cabin. Okay, so that's a very good information. So at least we have a place to look for. And I wonder how big the cabin is, because even if it's not there, they can still look elsewhere in the cabin without much trouble. So Chisa found a photo of the desk in one of the old pamphlets used when the ghost ship was still a commercial yacht. So did your mom say anything else?
別にバカな真似はやめなさい。そんなことしても意味ないって。
So on the lines of, well, give up. It's over. You're wasting your time doing this. This is all past. We just move on and forget about it.
それからすぐにアメリカから迎えに来るって。私を無理にでも連れて帰るつもりよ。
And she's coming from America to take me away. It's like, we're just going to move on. You're going to come with me to America. It'll be a whole new life, and you can forget about all this stuff once you come to America.
そうはさせないんだから。
Now, I wonder how Emily's going to fight back this decision.
写真の方はどうだった？
So, going to the photos. So yeah, they came out great. We got some information. So during today's trip, we managed to capture some details of the ship's interior through the hole in the hull. Hole in the hull. Okay, so I think this is the hallway. It's like, so it looks quite small. So I'm pretty sure we have enough space in the area, but past it, things might get tricky. So it's like, well, it's so small that you have to squeeze through it. And I wonder if the doors work. But maybe they'll find another way in. So this was our plan so far. Since we could only dive for a limited amount of time, processing all the details around us under pressure wasn't easy. So it's like, well, if we go down, we'll have one shot, so we have to go in, get the treasure, and come out in a short amount of time. And that was where the camera came in. It's like, well, first we need to capture some details, evidence, so that we can have a plan on how to get this treasure and get it quickly. So we photographed everything we could, then review the pictures so we have a better idea for the next dive. By using the camera on these little reconnaissance trips, we hope to slowly work our way into the depths of the shipwreck. It wasn't much of a plan, but there was no harm in being cautious. Plus, it provided opportunities for me and Emily to improve our diving skills. Okay, so I wonder if they have enough to make a plan to get this ring. Well, I hope we can make it as far as the cabin your parents were in.
そうしたら明日で全部終わるかも。
Well, if that's the case, then this will be all over, and so I wonder what's wrong with Chisa then. So Chisa had been focused on her smartphone since Emily had handed it back, but suddenly her face lost all color.
大変だ。
Wait, what's wrong?
何が大変なの？ママとは通話アプリを使ったから電話料金はかかってないはずよ。
So, I don't think I charged a lot of money on your phone.
違う、これよ。
Wait, this. So she showed us her screen and
台風情報また来るんだ。
uh-oh. So another big typhoon coming. And I'm going to leave that to next episode. So we're going to see what's going to happen and the details of this typhoon, because I'm pretty sure it's put a big dent in their plan to get this treasure from the ghost ship, because the typhoon might be powerful enough to sweep away this ghost ship, and if that's the case, then there is no chance for Emily to get this treasure, and she pretty much has to follow her mom's advice at moving on and forgetting about it. But I'm pretty sure, given that they're so close to finalizing their plan at getting this treasure, I hope they execute it soon. And more importantly, it will help bring Emily's parents together. And I'm pretty sure, given that Hiroki is now Emily's somewhat new boyfriend, he's going to be the one that's going to play a big role at making this happen. So until then, I will see you in next episode.